It's just interesting.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny today when we got the Babaloo ready for its first maiden, what do you call it, maiden fart, with a maiden...
Excuse me, I didn't quite hear that.
Maiden voyage. Fart is Afrikaans.
Fart in Afrikaans. There we go.
Fart in Afrikaans voyage.
Simon laughing as well. Fart is actually a voyage. It is a VAART if you want to go look it up in the dictionary.
Yeah.
But yes, you were. What were you saying there?
The maiden voyage of the Babaloo. It was very interesting to see Rory and Peter. I think I jumped in just a little bit every now and then just to get the Babaloo ready and making it nice, putting the stickers on the side.
Big hammer.
Big hammer. Yeah, I think a lot of people that were having their Sunday afternoon naps were woken up while we were playing around with the Babaloo. But yeah, it was very nice to see it, and I think it was also very nice to see it break down live. There's something special about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially for most of you that are actually relatively newer, well, not relatively, relative to the older times of the tank. I mean, for a while we used to break down all the time, and if we broke down once a drive, it was a good drive. So in a way, it's special. Like I said, there was a bit of sort of reminiscence of that. But I love that little car. It's a fantastic car, and I certainly, like you said, I mean, it was fun. But we will do some more of that as well in the nearby future. We just need to, get that hammer again, I guess, and maybe a fuel pump, whichever one comes first. and it'll be good as not. What is the expression in Afrikaans, Herman? So goed soos die beste.
So goed soos
good as gold, I think. that would work. Good as the Babaloo.
Good as the Babaloo, yeah. Don't know about gold, but as good as the Babaloo can get.
Anything else?
Pochos, of course. I mean, I know you quickly spoke about it, but I was sitting in final control, and it was just absolutely amazing, especially the times when it was totally black and you just heard your voice, and then the next moment you see these massive lines just coming towards the camera. I think that's something very special to be able to, because I mean, especially if you follow leopards, it's very hard, as you mentioned previously, it's very hard to get in front of them and stay in front of them. But because you had time and you knew exactly where they were, it was just so kiff to be able to see these massive lines just coming towards you. And you really felt, I mean, I was sitting in final control and I spent a lot of time on the back of the vehicle as well. But there wasn't much of a difference sitting here, and I think for the people in front of their computers or in front of their TV sets, it was something very, very real and very, very in the moment, which was great.
Yeah, it was actually quite fun. I mean, it happens very fast. The lines are walking slow, but with everything going on, it was fantastic. It was, it was a very cool experience.
That's
always nice to entertaining to have around the fire, and keep in mind, next year you can get an ID book and you can start going out.
Can go to the supermarket.
I like the haircut, and it's much cooler as well. I'm sure you.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't know it's going to make that big a difference, but it certainly did.
Short hairs. Now I've got to speak English. Rory's coming around the fire.
That's 2 chips there.
Don't cut him off at the knees again.
I'm counting. That's 2 chips. I'm just taking my shoes off for 2 reasons.
What, you want me to?
No, I've got so many pepper tick bites on my ankles.
You have, yeah. It does itch, Just get another shot there. Well, just for that specific little mic, just put it on your lapel a little bit.
This one,
yeah. Yeah, that will work better. Just it points more down the gullet.
And the other reason was because we were talking about. Sorry, hi everyone. There we are. It's nice to be on Fireside Chat again, and I've had a fantastic week. But just to carry on what I was saying, we were talking about lightning earlier, and during the drive as well, we were talking about a particular superhuman being who we've been reading a book of, Laird Hamilton.
Oh, Mr. Laird Hamilton, yeah.
And regards to lightning, he says how many times on average that lightning strikes the earth every day. So imagine all that energy, which is more than the sun, in the earth. So to walk barefoot, it's not a bad thing, huh? So you can get in direct contact with that energy.
Actually, I've speaking of energy, that's an interesting bit of wind suddenly that's come up. That's different from earlier. Nice and cool, which is exciting. Maybe some rain later, some lightning. But no, actually, it's a good point. I mean, I've heard various people over various times mention various forms of that same statement. So to hear him say that is interesting, especially since most of his time is actually standing on some kind of floating device, on some kind of wave that's bigger than most things we can imagine.
Yeah, I think he appreciates being on land.
Yeah,
so
maybe he just likes that. He's like, hey, I can stand. I don't have to balance.
Yeah.
He's a lot of respect for that man. He does some amazing things on our planet. I just realised now as you sat down and you sort of shuffled in, I didn't even try and to make you comfortable around the fire, Rory. Sorry, but you were around the fire a couple of months ago, and you back here.
No,
Did you make the last Fireside Chat? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm not as nervous as I would be. No, I'm fine. To go. Everyone, you guys have made me feel very welcome here, so it's part of me not being nervous. But yeah, thank you.
I got a bit nervous when you took your shoes off, but apart from that, I'm generally not nervous either.
Yeah, I thought I might tweak you a little.
Rory, just quickly to close up the evening, we're going to keep it sort of crisp and quick, and then we can get away from the fire and cool down a little bit, but that breeze coming up is nice.
Yes.
I had actually had a question for you, and I can't forget what it was. It wasn't about where you're going soon, it was something before that. Let's start at the end. Not the end, hopefully it's not the end. Hopefully it's just the beginning of something. If it's the end, then it's going to be quite sad. But we might be doing some exciting things once you get back. We'll get back to where you're going to before you get back just now. But in about a week or so, the 22nd, 23rd, around that time, you'll be back. And as we've done on many occasions on our own holiday time, I'm sure we'll manage to come up with a few little things to play with and a couple of ideas. I mean, we are going to be shaking things up, as you know, we spoke earlier about night drives and frogging and driving around the Babaloo and breaking down and doing all kinds of other things as well. But I'm sure we'll manage to, play a bit.
If today was the start of things, I can only imagine how it's going to go and how it's going to get. So I'm excited. You should be excited too, because there's been some cool things, I think.
Yeah.
Not set in stone, but
yeah,
as we MacGyver it out.
We might find ourselves around a fire a bit longer than an hour or two live.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's why I can always do that.
Yeah. And then before that, a quick. You're going to. What's that? Is it a German island? No. Where is it again? It's Mallorca, Spain.
Yeah, well, it's Spain. It's Mallorca. If anyone of you have been to Mallorca, you'll know that you can. If you're German speaking, you'll think you're at home in Hamburg or Munich, or other than that there's water around it, but like hamburgers. But it's a little Spanish island. But it has a very sort of large German influence on it. And I've got to do some work up there for a couple of days, and so I'll be flying out of Hoedspruit and flying back into Hoedspruit a week later.
That's quite funny, actually. Yeah.
I love flying out of small airports.
Yeah. No, it is, but especially Hoedspruit, it's quite nice. It's like bushveld around you, and it's normally very hot when you get in and very hot when you get out again. And